If you clicked on this video, then you're probably either in the market for one of these two microphones that we're putting head to head today, the Fifine Tank3 and the Fifine AM8, two of Fifine's flagship microphones. Or maybe you're just looking and feeling out the market for which microphone would be best for your purpose for either gaming, streaming, or podcasting, or YouTube content creation such as this. Well, hopefully you are in the right place, because by the end of this video, you should more or less be able to determine whether or not the Fifine AM8 or the Tank3 is the option for your creations. So without further wait, let's jump into round one, which are the hardware features. Let's do it. They are significantly different in terms of what they provide on a hardware basis. So let's just go through that really quickly. One, I think the Fifine Tank3 aesthetically looks better, looks nicer to me, even without the RGB. It's a lot more low profile than the AM8, which is pretty big and bulky looking and square and boxy. If you like that look, then, well, aesthetically, then that's what's for you. But for me, this takes up a lot of visual real estate in my shot here versus what this does. That's one. Two, the obvious. This is hardcore metal, right? Metallic build, matte black. Everything is metal, basically. Has an onboard hardware mute button. Has a minor click, but nothing as harsh as the PD200X by Mona, which is hardcore plastic sharp click. It doesn't have RGB on the Tank3. The Fifine adversely has a plethora of RGB settings you can set on board on this microphone, from color transitions to gradient color transitions, so solid colors. So there's a lot of RGB if that's your thing. Sometimes people think RGB is tacky. The build is 100% plastic. It's all plastic. The only thing metal is the actual U-arm bracket here that holds the microphone up. Otherwise, all plastic. They're both USB-C and XLR. They both have gain and volume controls. You can both monitor on the fly. But if I had to give a winner here on the hardware side, I would say that the Tank3 is the better looking, the more solid feeling, the more professional one of these two. So yeah, that's just my take on it. Let me know what you think about the build quality and that sort of thing, the appearance on camera. Maybe you guys have a different feel for what you like. Here we are with raw USB audio from the Fifine Amplitank Tank3, and this is the general audio quality. What does this audio quality sound like? Now, I know that via USB with the Amplitank Tank3, it's a little bit subdued. Sounds fantastic. Very nice, broadcasty sound. The bass is also subdued. There's not a lot of bass with this microphone, which is fine. It's kind of niche. If this is the kind of audio you like and you don't like that rumbly bass, then this is the perfect microphone for you. Testing 1, 2, a little bit of a proximity test, about 1.5 to 2 inches away from the front grill of this dynamic cardioid microphone. It has a built-in screen mesh internally, and on top of having the external metal screen mesh. So you get some nice mitigation of noise without having to actually apply an additional pop filter on top. All right, now let's make a switch over to the AM8. And this is the audio quality of the AM8. The AM8 has been a little bit of a champion for a while in its price range, $50 to $60. Proximity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 1.5 inches away from the front grill of this dynamic cardioid microphone as well in USB mode. What do you think of that quality? Sitting back in USB mode, the pickup is probably, I think, maybe better on the AM8 than the Tank3. I don't know, but let's make a switch to the Tank3. This is the audio quality about 1.5 feet away from the AM8. Switching over to the Tank3, same distance. I have not moved, 1.5 feet away. Let's see what that sounds like. Listen to that audio in post. I am already getting a couple of differences via USB audio. They both have advantages and disadvantages. The Tank3 has some nice gain pickup, especially I noticed that when I went at a distance, so it's a little bit louder than the AM8. You get more pickup, but you kind of get also on top of that pickup more background noise mitigation. Pretty good, and my audio was pretty crispy for the most part. The AM8 was also pretty crispy. The off axis was not as great, but it was still good. There was a little bit more bass in the AM8, which is kind of welcomed if you don't want to have to add additional bass in post. At this point in time right now, I can't say which is better in USB mode, right? Out of box. So we're going to have to move on. Plosives, starting with the Fifine Tank3. Here we go. I'm going to just shoot it down the middle. Peter Piper picked a pack of Pepsis, popped them, poured them into a pitcher profusely while projectiling. What? What is that? All right, now blowing into it. Peter Piper picked a pack of Pepsis, popped them, poured them into a pitcher profusely. From the corner of my eye, I can see the levels in OBS clipping. Now, what I do notice about the Tank 3 is when I'm doing plosives, I do hear like this metallic ringing sound if you pop it too hard. Let's switch over to the AM8, going straight down the middle first. Peter Piper picked a pack of Pepsis, popped them, poured them into a pitcher profusely. Peter Piper picked a pack of Pepsis, popped them, poured them into a pitcher. They're both clipping at 100% volume, picking up those plosives. Let me do some playback and see which one is the worst popper. What? All right, so on plosives, they are both on kind of like the same playing ground. There isn't really a winner here. Honestly, they both do great at mitigating plosives. I will say that the AMA had like a bigger boom, I guess, because of more bass that it actually has versus what the Tank 3 does. But down the middle, they are both fantastic. Sibilance, hissing. Let's move into that. Let's start on here with the AM8 since we're already here. All right, let's start down the middle. Superman ate a salad with Susan by the sauna in the seashore. Superman was wearing his shorts by the seashore with Sally having sexy salads. All right, let's make a switch over to the Tank 3. Superman ate a salad by the seashore with Susan while swimming in a sauna. Superman ate a salad by the seashore with Susan while swimming in a sauna. All right, that hissing is serious, I guess, on both when you're blowing into it, but down the middle, not so much. But let me do some playback to confirm which is the bigger slithering hisser. Okay, so the bigger hisser here is the Tank 3. Maybe has to do with the higher end range, right? And the EQ. Also, that higher gain. It's a little bit louder, but either way, down the middle or kind of hissing directly into it was more pronounced on the Fifine Tank 3. Okay, we have a little bit of a win side on the hissing. Fifine AM8 takes the win on Sibilance. Proximity test of the Fifine Tank 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at full volume. What does that sound like? Sounds fantastic in my ears. Switching to the Fifine. Ooh, those highs have picked up and the hissing has picked up as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the Fifine AM8. Wow, this sounds pretty rich. I like it. Switching over to the Tank 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do hear that background noise and ambient noise just drop off. Pretty good, techies and gamers. Okay, I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, techies and gamers. So there you have it. The Fifine AM8 versus the Fifine Tank 3. What do I think? Well, they're both awesome microphones. And at the end of the day, I think that it really depends on the sound you want. Both have their own pros and cons that you can assess individually and against each other. But for a gaming scenario, I think the Fifine AM8 is just fine. I don't see any reason to take that additional $40 leap up to the Fifine Tank 3 unless your thing is really about that visual appearance and you like this visual appearance. Appearance makes a big difference depending on your setting and what's the purpose for your microphone. The bass, the AM8 has better bass. mid-range. They're kind of like equal. Again, it depends. There's really not one that's better than the other. They both sound great. I do think that USB audio is probably just a tad bit better on the Fifine Tank 3, but in XLR things change. In XLR, the AM8 has caught up to whatever lead the Tank 3 may have had. The AM8 is a beast over XLR, at least over this XLR mixer. Honestly, I think it comes down to visual preferences here, because the sound quality on both of these are pretty fantastic. Is it worth the $40 jump to get that metallic body and visual preference and better noise mitigation? Maybe, right? Depends on how deep your pockets are, right? But I will say, if you are a voiceover actor, a singer, something of in that vein of creativity, then the AM8 may be the way to go, because, well, there is like a certain level of richness in the AM8 that the Fifine Tank 3 does not have. And if you see that bass, that thing just opens up. It sounds fantastic. I can go high and I go higher. I can't really sing, but the sound sounds so good in my ear, rings and loud. Oh, what the am I singing about? But if you're still not convinced as to which of these microphones you want, and you want to look at more options, check out this playlist right here. That will take you directly to a microphone playlist where I review tons of microphones, and I think out of one of those videos you're going to actually choose one, because they're all pretty much great options with some exceptions. Some, you know what I'm saying? Some are not that great. All right, and with that, I'll see you in my next video. Later.